Hello, how's it going, people? YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to EA Sports PGA Tour. So we're going to continue on with the career mode, and we're currently at the Masters tournament. So first round we were pretty good. We started off well. We got an eagle at the second, and then we kind of hit. I think we did what, 4 bogeys between that and the close out at the front nine. And we were out in 2 over par, which wasn't great, but we turned it round. We shot 3 under par for the back nine. We did make a couple of mistakes, like the par 5, I think we drove into the trees. Pitched out. I think we ended up with did we get a birdie at that hole? Can't actually remember. I know we birdied 16. But we finished 1 under. So let's check the settings. We're on 92. I think I'm going to leave the difficulty at that because I think it was pretty decent. The leader was 6 under, which isn't too bad. I think that should be pretty decent. But let's go. Let's go into the round. So Hideki Matsuyama, who I actually haven't really played with. First time. So golf bag, we need to get bag 1, which is our tournament bag. So let's see we need to check the conditions. So Patrick Cantlay is 6 under. Wind, 69 miles per hour, so we need to remember that. Right, let's go, let's do this.
From the Augusta National Golf Club in Augusta, Georgia, EA Sports so proudly presents the Masters. Today, live second round coverage of the season's first, and many say most coveted, major championship. Things starting to slowly take shape here on this Friday. For some, it is a race for the top prize. For others, it's a fight to stick around for the weekend as we show you the leaderboard. We've got a tie at the top at 6 under par.
6 under par. So I don't know what the cut's going to be.
Our featured golfer, no lock to play the weekend, hovering a few shots inside the cut line, entering play.
So the cut line at the moment is
Round 2
+1.
here at the Masters, any important day in the life of this young
Which to me is a more believable
first
cut line.
ever professional round here. Now, the goal, you'd have to think, tighten a few things up, maybe putt just a little bit better, and you're going to be around for the weekend in a major championship.
Oh, that's
I would say the start too is important today. You know, the opening holes become more difficult over the last few years, and that opportunity at 2 and 3, the par 5 and the short or nearly drivable third. The goal has to be
that wind effect is a little bit more than what I thought. So I've not played Matsuyama, although I don't think I've played Matsuyama. What is Matsuyama anyway? I didn't see his score.
Yeah, that's a beauty there to get this second round underway.
From the heart of the fairway, 180 yards in.
180 yards. No, that's drifting. Bunker.
That's got to be disappointing. Good line, the fairway, and the approach winds up in the bunker.
Yeah, not a bad bunker, but
so
far
after the
enough back to
opening
the
tee shot,
face.
his second at 1.
It's just this wind. What's at the 160 distance? Because it is uphill as well. In fact, I've just noticed the percentage in the sands, 87 to 94. So let's maybe even up out of that. I'm gonna hit 168. The line looks good. Like, that was a good shot. Good job, I checked the percentage of the bunker. Just my eyes went down to the bottom
I'd give that
corner,
an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Been in a fairway bunker
and I
and
noticed that
safely on the
percentage was
green.
like
You
87
never
to
know, you might
94.
even sneak a birdie.
Oof. Okay, he's not got a lot of green to work with. And the AI out the bunkers maybe improved a margin. Yeah, that's actually a good bunker shot from there.
Yeah,
Played
that's
that
going to
well.
be just okay. Might have been a little worried about not getting it out, and instead this is going to leave a tough putt coming up. A birdie putt at 1. We check in with Nota Begay.
And he's got to have good energy transfer here. It's an uphill putt, but it's going to slide left as it gets near the hole.
It looks pretty. I'm going to say it looks fairly consistent. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty consistent, the break, but it is uphill a fair margin. I would go as far as saying that's like a good, maybe even like a foot and a bit. I'm gonna go 34. Oh, that was a big misjudgment actually.
Yeah,
we just never get the break. It was 2.4. I thought hitting uphill
feet to the hole.
would have maybe have taken a bit of this. Matsuyama is 2 under. I thought that would have taken a little bit of the break out of it, but oh, what is? Hey, Winston, that's a scary putt. That must have been downhill quite a bit.
Fair sometimes. That looked in the whole way.
Right, tricky putt. 1.7 below. It's not really even uphill that much. Oh, I was caught between hitting it firm, which I kind of did, but it's not a good start. I think we hit this one a bit firm.
Nah, might have stared at that one too long.
Oh my goodness.
You just got to go with your gut.
What a start. The break, this hole's at a really weird angle. Oh man.
Good putt there, though it is.
So we really tried to hit it from, take the break out, we ended up
and he's going to fall back now.
just falling by the wayside of the hole. Wow, that's a double bogey start. That is horrendous.
Okay, it's
so we go from being inside the cut line to being on it.
He'll drop
so
back.
Matsuyama bogeys as well. But we're going to have to settle down here.
So Frank, this, as we've mentioned, our golfer's second professional round here at Augusta National. You finished 4th here back in 1996. Curious, how long did it take you before you started to kind of get comfortable with the layout and the contours of the greens and all the nuances that you have to become familiar with in order to be successful here?
Well, I certainly don't think you want to get complacent, but to answer your question, I never really felt totally comfortable. But what did help was playing with experienced players like Arnold Palmer, who had, had played in more Masters than I'd had hot dinners. And what I did glean from them is they look left and right, short and long. I think too often when you're young, and I'm going to say dumb in this situation, you just sort of take this direct line at all these flags.
He's actually pretty good.
When you look at a seasoned player, they're looking for humps and hollows. What's
quite
around
a long club
the hole? In other words, the flag stick is a destination,
perfect
not necessarily the target.
Maybe even just
Once I started to learn that, then I realized how you could play Augusta
National. I've got the power drive.
And the more players you play with, whether it was a Ballesteros or a Tom Watson, you started to see that was the one common denominator with all the people that was successful around Augusta National.
Trees. Right, so we need to stabilise now.
Perfectly. That's going to get a
Horrible
good amount
opening
of run
hole.
out and going to leave a great angle to
What to
attack
do
this
with the
second
putting?
green.
Putting was just terrible. First putt, second putt, third putt, all horrible.
Second shot upcoming. Down
I
to
don't
Noda.
think you can get that.
Playing from the fairway bunker at the second makes it
He's
awfully
got like
difficult to find the
a
green
hybrid
into.
maybe in his
Most
hand,
likely
but
gonna
that's
have
going
to
to change,
lay
I
up and
think.
try and set up the third.
Well, he's going for it. Oof. I'll tell you one thing, that must have been pretty close to that edge of the top of the lip.
And that will not be an eagle putt. Far from it. It's into the left front bunker here at the second.
It wind's helping.
From the fairway, we check in with Noda.
Great chance to hit this green in two, but it's going to require one of the hardest shots in golf. A big,
I think we
towering
go with
high
this.
draw to access this left hole location.
I don't think we need to hit that much of a high draw, mate. The wind's going. Oh, sit down ball. Oh, that was absolutely perfect.
Got every bit of that through
Come
all
on.
the way there and got it to stop. Home in two on the par 5.
Deck is thinking. How's the back? I think. Well,
Yeah, the green just didn't want to
Nice.
hold
It
that
might
one.
be us to
That'll
putt.
run off into the short grass.
I always thought if he was off the green
This
that
one
he should be
just
chipping,
about
but
straight at it for eagle.
that's a great opportunity here. Slightly downhill. I don't think it's downhill by much. One view. I think the break is, yeah, it's fairly consistent. Doesn't look as if it deviates much. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Right, so the break's consistent. I think we need to hit this. Maybe where we are at the moment. It's going to break a little bit though. I'm ballpark guessing here. Wow. He's going to hit it by a little bit, 5 foot. A little bit aggressive. That was not a good putt. Don't know why I expected it to break a lot more than what I thought. I thought it was going to break quite a bit, but it was actually maybe maybe
That was always
half
a
what we had.
possibility with that chip shot. Just leaked away, I think, a little bit more than he wanted.
Well, it is slick around the hole, but that did
That was a
note
great
by.
opportunity for an eagle.
That's a confident roll right there. Well done.
Yeah, come on.
It's a par here at the second. And he'll stay at level par.
Maybe hit this a little bit firm.
Yeah,
Lovely.
well done. It's a birdie
Right, we get
here
back
at
to
the
even,
second.
which kind of sits a little
And he's
bit
got
better,
back
wasn't it?
to even par.
Could have been an eagle though.
Down to the short par 4 third, only 350 yards. I think one of the more underrated holes on this golf course. We know those 5 pars plus the 12th on that second 9 get so much attention, and rightly so. But this is a wonderful hole, strategic.
The wind's good
You
for
need
this whole
some
boat
touch
of
here.
it. It's coming across the hole there. Basically, I think we just hit the power drive. If we go up the middle, if we hit a good one, the wind's going to take it a little bit. So it deviates a little bit to the left, which ain't too bad.
Oh, that is a
Hopefully we should be able to
big
play
drive.
the spinner
Easily
shot
clearing that
in
series of
close.
bunkers, but that will leave a delicate
I'm
pitch
trying to
shot
think how the
to this
spinner
third
shot
green.
when I played the last round on Balm Springs nipped in quite quick. I think we need to maybe adjust for here. So Matsuyama's quite short.
That swing, and this is going to wind up squarely in the fairway. Just 92 yards for his second to this par 4.
Spins. Nice shot.
Rich, is that 8 or 9 feet? I don't know about that, but it is a great approach shot.
So a big drive,
Right.
and not much needed to carry here for his second.
I think we go with the spinner here. I think we even just had it normal, because I don't think we're going to get... I'm saying I don't think we're going to get huge amounts of nip or spin on it. We got a little bit. Okay, it could have been better.
No gimme here. Tricky one for birdie.
2.1 above. Not a lot of break. Not a lot of uphill, I mean, or downhill. It's pretty level. Yeah, what more? It's the brakes. Oh, come on. Brakes are really crazy on Augusta. Not been comfortable in the greens yet. Club to Matsuyama, that was, oh
Nicely
jeez.
done. Things looking good.
He gets the
early.
birthday
That's
back to
birdies
200.
at 2 and 3.
I really don't
He's
like
in
the way
good
his ball
figures now
broke.
at 1 under par. Oh, that is right on the
That
precipice
was a
of going
massive
down.
flip out.
I
Holy
do
sh!
believe it's going to stay
Shucks.
out. That one in for a bogey here at
That's
the
a
third.
bogey. What a
That's
start.
going to drop him down the leaderboard just a bit.
Double birthday bogey.
Now to the fourth, an excellent par 3. This requires a solid, pure strike. You can't fake it on this hole, and you're happy to walk away with 3. Next up, the stout
Yeah,
par
pin's
3 fourth
really
here at
not
Augusta National, measuring
hard to get
240
to.
yards. Middle to long iron is the play here, but accuracy is key with the 2 bunkers protecting the front of that green.
Matsuyama looks as if he's... he's kind of fading it in. That's actually not a bad... it's not a bad place
that
to be.
one not on the green, but not in a terrible spot either. Sitting up in the short grass.
Wind's in our face, which is actually helping us. I think we'll go with the 3 iron. Maybe hit it a little bit high. Try and let this wind knock it down a little. Oh, that could be good. If it just sits. That's not bad. Well, we need to get
That
comfortable
one
with the
safely on the
putting.
putting
Putting's been a little
surface.
bit sort of like scary.
Birdie putt coming up, and we go to Iona Stephen.
Now, it would be tempting to leave this one short. You can worry so much about the break that you forget to hit it. Demands a firm stroke.
Yeah, this is uphill quite a bit. I'm thinking. I'm actually thinking quite a bit on top of this. Sounds crazy, but I'm thinking that. We did underhit it, and to be honest, we were pretty bang on with the speed. It's not a bad trip from there, but it's actually getting a little bit worse.
And that's not exactly ideal. Far from the tap-in for his par.
You're being too kind. That's not at all ideal.
That's in. It is a good par here at number 4.
Par.
And he'll remain at 2 over par. Okay, that
Yeah,
one
good par.
finished off. It's a
It's
par
tough, it's
here
tough
at
par
4.
3.
And he'll stay at 1 over. Inspired by the road hole at the old course at St. Andrews, the 495-yard par 4 fifth. This an excellent par 4, second longest at Augusta National. Uphill slightly and dogleg to the left.
Wind. Okay. Probably wind's heading into her face at the tee shot, I think.
And that will do just fine.
Should come back a little. Yeah, that's perfect. Just need to settle down again.
From the fairway, let's go to Noda.
Finding the fairway here at the 5th does not guarantee that you're going to hit the green. A series of undulations and bumps really make it tough to get it close.
I've got enough to go up that hill. Oh, nope.
To where the hole is cut, just about 190 yards, Frank.
Right. I think we go with the 8 iron. To get the perfect tempo downswing. It's not bad, but I tell you one thing, we're going to have a putt that's going to be pretty close to that downward slope after the pin. Going to have to be
Look
careful
here
of that.
at birdie.
Well, 2 things to consider here. First
know
of all, the
it's
break,
right.
just ever so slightly left to right, but the main
It's not-
focus
it's
must
not
be the
much
pace,
further.
uphill all the way.
Ooh, shot.
A long one coming up here for birdie.
It's not up very much, I don't think. It is uphill, but we need to be careful. This could get away from us. I was actually scared to hit that
Not quite online, and that'll drift
further
a couple
over
feet
because
by.
I think the slope cuts at an angle. Take the part.
That one finished off. It is a par here at 5,
Not the worst.
and he'll remain right where he is. He'll finish that one off with no problem. It's in for par, and he'll stay right where he is. We make our way now to the 180-yard par 3 sixth, second par 3 on the first 9 here at Augusta. Elevated tee looks down on a 2-tiered
Right, I'm
undulating
trying to
green.
think what we played
that
just
will
with it.
absolutely test it.
Clubs. I think it's a club and a half. I think we said it was. That top section, maybe club and a half 2. It depends really on the wind. Not a bad shot, to be honest.
And this is going to roll off the back of the green, but it's going to end up in a good spot.
Okay. Is that going to be enough? Maybe go 7-iron. Maybe just knock it down a little bit. Yeah, almost similar to Matsuyama's.
And that one not on the green, but not in a terrible spot either. Sitting up in the short grass.
Right. It's a tricky one. I really don't know how it's going to... But part of me... I don't think we need to really chip it on that far. I mean, it was a little bit nervy. We could have went a little bit more, but I really just didn't want it getting away from it.
I think they'll be fairly pleased with that, Frank. What do you think?
I certainly do. It was so good.
This is downhill quite a bit. The break as well. Oh, that's a solid
right
putt,
there.
man. That was...
It is a par here at the 6th.
Looking at that putt
And
wasn't
he'll
really
remain
great.
right where he is.
Downhill break from the right. All kinds of bad.
Safely in for par here at the 6th. And he'll stay right where he is. On to hole number 7. It is a par 4 at an even 450 yards in length. Anything into the pine trees running the length of the fairway can oftentimes lead to a bogey or worse, with the 3 front bunkers preventing any thoughts of running one up to the green.
Right, that's the amateur tee off. Quite a tricky hole this. You can end up under the trees.
No issues here. That is into the fairway.
Good shot. Underswung it a little bit. Wind was behind. I'm going to carry it pretty decent.
From the fairway, we check in with Noda.
Well positioned in the fairway, but there is no guarantees to hit the green. It is protected by a series of bunkers all around it.
No, he runs
Decision is
too far.
required.
Ken's giving a little chip.
Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just
The wind's
ricocheted
behind. I think we
forward.
just hit this normal, because I think the wind's going to carry it just a touch. You do underswing it though, but that could still work out pretty good. Yeah, not bad.
Good shot.
Maybe
Safely
actually
on the green and a birdie chance.
quite good that we did underswing it. Oh, that's trickling away. Still Matsuyama to go for
here.
par. I don't think it breaks too much though. Yeah, you can't tug that.
Got
That
it
was
there,
not a good
but
putt.
not quite on target.
Wow, man, this is actually breaking downhill quite a lot. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. Again, I'm just looking to see if it stays consistent. Yeah, I think it does. Tell you one thing, man, it's slidey as hell. That's like a really good amount. The worst thing is if I miss this could be like, I don't know. Oh, it did miss. It just leaked to the left. Oh, that's painful.
Yep, well done.
Oh, there's a good chance for a birdie though.
7.
I feel as if
He'll
I've actually
remain
dropped a stroke
right
there.
where he is.
That was a really slick putt though.
That one in. It is a bogey here at the 7. And that won't help the cause.
Matsuyama
one
drops down
bit.
though. Back to 1 under.
We move now to the 8th here at Augusta. This is an uphill 570-yard par 5.
Par 5,
Avoid
maybe a
the
bit of
fairway
green
bunker
space
off the
finally.
tee, and reaching into is definitely a possibility.
Oh, that should be good. Favouring the left-hand side, but
No problems
it's a
there.
decent length.
It's going to wind up safely in the fairway.
It's a decent length. It should be okay. Well, Matsuyama's probably behind us quite a few yards. Same kind of line.
Just what you want to do. Land it in the fairway. Get a little bit of rollout, and that is a good shot.
Yeah, what's Matsuyama got? 279, uphill though. Wind's coming off his back, so it's not ideal for this hole. That's like a layup. To be honest, that's not a bad call. I might even do the same. It depends. We'll see
That's
what we've
what
got.
he wanted to do. After the tee shot, puts
Don't wanna
himself
be
in
in
a
the
really
trees.
good position here on the par 5.
Yeah, that wind. I think we just aim at the hole. It's tempting though. I'm gonna hit this. Do we go for the? I don't think we do though. I think we aim at the tree. We maybe just play the shot in. With the intention of maybe getting on the green. What a shot! I actually thought the pin was at the front.
Par 5 didn't fly it there, but
So that shot,
to
be honest, I
out of that shot.
didn't think it was going to be like pin high. I thought it was going to be maybe just at the front of the green. Hit that tree, let the wind just take it away slightly from the tree and roll to the front edge or the front somewhere. I didn't really
10-foot
expect
putt
it to
left.
go as far up as what it did. It's like a shot to nothing, but certainly wasn't intentional.
Yes, Plenty of pace to get up that
Matsuyama's
slope.
back to 2 under.
He's in for a birdie. And that's going to help his chances to play the weekend, as currently
Downhill,
he's hovering right
at
around the cut line.
A lot. It's only 6 foot. It's 1.4 below. So let's just kind of play for it. No way! Oh, it whips.
Distance every day.
Oh,
But that one
I
never
thought
got
that was
online.
in.
Let's see if he can knock this in. It's for birdie.
But we do get the bird though.
Okay, nicely done. It's a birdie at
What could
number
have
8.
been?
Will certainly help the cause.
Does get us to even,
We
and
wrap
it
up the first
probably
9
gets
with
us
the
inside the
tough
cut line just.
460-yard par 4 known for
Right,
a
9th hole,
treacherous
probably I think one
three-tiered
of
green that
the
slopes
the
sharply
most
from
difficult
back to
holes
front.
at
Approach
Augusta.
shots here that don't
We
have
definitely
enough
want to check
carry
the flyover
also
for this,
wind up
see where the
rolling
pin
a
is.
good
I think the
30,
pin is
40 yards or so back down the hill.
yeah, there's the pin. Back, top tier at the back. The wind's perfect. We don't. I'm not going to hit. I think yesterday I tried the draw. It's cut fine to the tree, but it should drop down okay. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. That should be not a lot to the hole. 121 yards. We're uphill though, so we're probably going to have to hit a little bit extra. Matsuyama's thinking here. Good shot. A little bit less in terms of power, but I think it's going to be
that is a wonderful
good
tee
shot, at least
right
to the
where you
green.
want to be here at hole number 9. From the fairway, let's go to Noda.
Well, from this section of the fairway, you have an opportunity to get the ball close to the back third of this green. It's going to require some good calculations on yardage and proper execution to get the ball to sit on the right
just
plateau.
trickled back onto the green. That probably would have been pretty decent.
From the fairway,
126 yards. It is uphill
well, the good news
quite
is this
a
ball
lot.
has found the
The
fairway,
wind's
but the
helping
two bunkers
though.
guarding the left side of the 9th are in play. Going to have to hit something high and soft to find the right level of this green.
It's 121 yards to the pin. I think we hit this just a little bit extra. The wind's helping us, but it is going to give us a little bit extra boost. Sit down. Oh, it's too much. Too much.
Inexcusable.
Vader, would you? Vader keeps nudging my hand. Oh man, I'll tell you one thing, this is got to be careful here. I've been hitting a lot of chips at Augusta where I've not really been, like, you can be aggressive to a point, but you don't want to be too aggressive here. I mean, we could actually play like a flop. I don't know. I mean, I feel that's the kind of, because there's the slope, so it kind of evens out the hole just a touch. Yeah, I think we go chip. I think we chip it here. Just let it roll down. Oh no! Oh, I've done. Oh.
So that one, Frank, came out way too hot.
Just goes to show what happens when you don't find these greens in regulation. Now,
Vader, stop.
he's looking
Come on,
at two
please.
putts, maybe three
Vader.
from where he is.
Oh, that was not a good shot. Maybe the flop would just take the par, move on. Man, this is uphill quite a bit. This is a good. Oh, God, what is this in terms of like, uphill? Didn't break much. It's really the speed we need to get in this. I'm thinking it's up here. See, one thing we were actually short. Oh, it's a bogey. Such a tricky. We played the chip. To be honest, I mean, it's easy to say, looking back, the chip might not have been the right choice.
Yes, the touch. Excellent there from behind the green, and that one goes down for an unlikely birdie.
We just carried on to the down slope, and we just rolled off. Bogey.
Okay, a shake of the head.
One over par, out in 38, 2 over
Finished
to
off.
the front 9.
And that's going to
Not
drop
the
him
best.
down the leaderboard just a bit. Second 9 begins with a downhill 495-yard par 4 featuring a 60-yard
So we'll let
long
Matsuyama tee
center
off, and then
short of
we'll
the green. The
we'll
first hole
do the
until
front 9 recording
1935,
done
number
and
10
dusted.
traditionally plays harder than
Yeah, but
any other hole
not
here at
playing
Augusta
particularly
National.
well. A little bit nervous in the greens, to be honest. In and around the greens, we're kind of struggling a lot. It's much the same as it was yesterday. We need a good back 9. We were 2 over par at the 9th.
And that's an excellent tee shot. Actually took the corner of the dog leg on. And
Right,
the
come
payoff,
on.
a slightly flatter lie and a better angle into this green that tips to the left.
So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the back 9 coming up soon. Take care, catch you next time.